Oh, we got one. Oh, good morning. Yeah, we're back here at the river. We tried fishing here on opening day, and wow, did we have an experience. The water was just raging through. It was cold the night before. We were flooded over. That weren't enough. We ran into a few people with some machetes and we ended the day short. But don't worry, I took some of your advice with the comments and I decided to bring my own machete. It never hurts to have a little protection either. Gonna bring out the spinner, gonna take out the trout magnet, an underspin swim bait, keeping it on the small side. We do have rainbow trout in here. We got the walleye, we've got this smallmouth. We got carp in here. They're kind of temperamental, they're tough to get. We got some rain coming in. Well, actually it doesn't look so bad now, but I heard a few rumbles of thunder. Let's get our gear ready and get to the river. I'm starting myself off here. I'm bringing 4 rods, which is kind of like almost a ridiculous amount of rods. I have 4 different setups that I really like, and they're set up ready to go. So I think I'm just gonna leave them on there and I'm just gonna bring 4 rods out with me. So as I was grabbing my rods, I'm like, dude, don't be ridiculous. Just bring 2 rods. And I still ended up with 3. So here's what we got. We've got our spinner bait. We've got an underspin. We have a trout magnet. I'd actually like to try a jerkbait in here. The water is moving, and it's not moving too fast. That spot's gonna be just a little bit tough to fish, only because I'm sure that it's gonna be pretty mucky and muddy. It's gonna be very difficult to stand in that area. A few spots there that we could go. Pretty steep though. I've gone down here before. It's pretty steep. We'll give it a shot. All right, hang on. We're going down. This is where the machete boys were. I think we got a nice spot here. I fished this area a few times. It's a nice spot. These jerk baits have very good suspension. So I'd like to give them a shot and see what happens. It might be a little big for the area, but we'll find out. So let's get him in. I'm very curious to see if jerkbait's the way to go. I'm actually getting a backflow here. Wondering if I want to go with the matte shad here. We're going to take this jerkbait off and downsize a little bit and go to more of a natural color, the matte shad. Okay, this is our next victim here. This is a matte shad. So the reason I'm feeling jerkbaits today is I had one of my subscribers, or one of you, and thank you so much for subscribing, suggest that I be running a Rapala. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. So here's what we're using next, matte shad color. Thanks for subscribing again, and I'm listening to your comments, so if you have some ideas for me, I'm always willing to give them a shot. I don't know why, but that running jerkbait here just made sense to me. Okay, I'm gonna tighten my brake a little bit because I am a little lighter here. We don't want a backlash. I like to tighten my brake up basically anytime I make any kind of change on my lures, and now we can lighten that up a little bit. So every time I give this little tugs like that, the bait is going to zigzag over. It's kind of almost like a walking bait on the top of the water, only it's doing that action underwater. And then we give it a little bit of a rest and it will suspend. With the river system, it's a little tougher because your speeds are going to be different as far as your rise. Twitching can be completely different. You can do one twitch and then let them rest, bring them back, a couple twitches. Each time you twitch it, you're going to get that zigzag. The river is going this way. I'll put an arrow in there. So right now I'm going with the current. I find when I go against the current, I actually get pulled to the side. But I'll show you the jerk here when we jerk it. New Jersey has had some kind of crazy events. We've had earthquakes, had the eclipse, we've had snow, tremendous amount of rain, flooding. The fish have been break, and I think they just don't know what the heck to do. So it's been really rough trying to catch these guys. I've only had maybe 1 or 2 catches in the last couple days that I've been coming out, and it's not been real fun. But we got to keep going, and we got to keep trying. We got to figure them out, and that's why I'm running a jerkbait. It's not my norm here, but I've got to figure out what is making these fish thrive. They've got to start eating eventually. I mean, I know we're going into spawn. Supposedly I've got stock trout in here. Did they get all washed away with the flood? Possibility. All right, we're gonna go with the current again. Not having any hits, and usually with these jerk baits, when you're fishing this action, you're usually gonna get the fish on the stall. When I'm stalling down, that's when the fish is gonna come up. It's gonna try to get in front of that bait, and he's gonna hammer him from the front. We do have those rainbow trout in here that are stocked. I'm not sure if I'm gonna catch them on a jerkbait or not. My thinking is I really want to get after the smallmouth, and I know they'll come after it, and the walleye will too. Okay, I just saw a fish jump, so we know we got one in the area. We got top water. Oh, I never thought you'd ask. I am running today a St. Croix Advid X with a Daiwa Tatula bait casting reel. It's a 7.3, as you can see. This is a St. Croix Advid X. This is a medium power, 6/8. Not a real long rod. Gives me good action for jerkbait. This is my jerkbait rod, basically. I rarely throw anything other than jerkbaits on this rod. I got a great deal on this rod. When they basically switched over to their next style rod, this Advid X, which is usually anywhere in the neighborhood of $200 to $250, I was able to get for a whopping $115. St. Croix is really a leader when it comes to fishing technology. I love the rods. I think downsizing it was the way to go. More of natural colors. There's a few people that come in here, some with machetes, some with not. I really feel like this area deserves natural colored baits. I've run some baits loud in here, you know, with the chartreuse and some pretty crazy colors, and I've not caught anything. It always seems like when I catch something in here, it's more on the natural end of it. Okay, let's get switched over to a spinnerbait and see if we can make something happen here. Okay, here's where we're running. This is a 1/8 ounce rooster tail. Now this is where you want to get that break tight again. This is a lot of rod to be throwing this on, actually. I do have a spinning rod with me too. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Yeah, this might be just a little too light for this rod. Very well, our casts are getting safer, but I'm not able to really cast very far. Oh, we got a log coming out here. Anyone riding on top there? Almost looks like there's someone riding it, doesn't it? And that's a cut log. Okay, so I'm feeling a little silly. I'm not able to get the cast I really want. I'm just putting it out there, basically. We got another log coming. Maybe someone's up there cutting logs and just letting them drift down. That's a big ass log. Now that one definitely looks like a broken branch. Well, our casting's getting a little better with this one. Got a lot of debris floating down the river. Got some Canadian honkers going by. Ooh, my confidence is low, ladies and gentlemen. Confidence is low, low, low in this area. Oh, we got one. We got one. Oh, it's a beautiful rainbow trout, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he got off. He got off. He got off. I hope you saw it. Oh, man. Rainbow trout just happened. My confidence was super low. Let's see if he had any buddies. First catch and got off. That was exciting. We didn't catch him, but it was exciting. Hopefully you got an opportunity to see him. Hopefully he was in frame. I would say that guy probably chased me for a little while because it was pretty close to where we were here. And I'm not getting crazy on how fast I bring this in. Just kind of move him along. Let that spinner really flap out. Because if you pull him too fast, it's going to tighten that spinner up. The slower you pull him out, the wider that spin seems to be. I'm going to call that a catch. He was right here. When you call that a catch, I mean, maybe not. All right, we're going to call that a maybe catch. This is one of those videos that you don't get to see me very much. And I like talking to you guys. So we're switching it up here. This is a good one for like pike, stuff of that nature. You know, I'm just going to throw this on. I don't even know if I'm really going to throw it, but I think it suits the rod a little better. So this is a Mepps Black Fury. I've seen these around a little bit. This is a big bait, but I do have pretty good size fish in here. So I'm going to give this a couple shots. There we go. Okay, we're good. Oh, I like the action. Yeah, if you can see here, we got a little turtle. I don't know if you can see that little guy under there. I thought it was a leaf coming up on me, but it's a little turtle. Go tell those fish to come over and see me. Next up is this little jig head, and we're going to outfit this with a bobber to kind of keep ourselves out of trouble, and we'll see how this works. So this will keep our lure in check. The bobber, we can really let this thing go pretty much as far as we want because we're not sinking down and hitting the bottom. We're going to let this thing drift way back, and then we'll bring this little jig head in. We have a Gulp Alive on it, so that will give me an opportunity again to really catch any type of panfish. They're crappie, the trout are interested. I mean, anything may want to go after it. And we're staying with a chartreuse on color. I mean, I am far down the river right now, and I'm staying towards the middle, which is good too. I just got to make sure I don't let my line go out to a point where which I'm getting close right now. So we're going to latch that up and bring this thing back. The one thing I was having a problem with on opening day, the current was pulling me so fast, my jig head was just basically being dragged to the surface instead of dropping down nice, which just could be occurring here too. So I'm hoping that we're going to have some area where we can kind of dive this thing down a little bit. This is the Christmas rod. Got me this rod. This is a St. Croix medium light. This is basically their flagship rod. It is outfitted with a Pflueger 1000 reel. Is it a 1000? Yeah, I think it's a 1000. Pflueger 1000 reel. 15-pound braided line, which is probably a little bit heavy. 8-pound monofilament leader on this. Now we got some riprap right now where my bobber is right now, and it does seem like I'm out of the current a little bit. If the current's too strong, it's just going to lift my 1/32 jig head right up, and it's just going to be swimming too high on the surface, and I don't want that. I want him to drop down a foot or two. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling like that rooster tail is where it's at. I think I got to get back on that rooster tail, and this will be the right rod for it, for sure. The water's moving fast. It's not moving nearly as fast as it was opening day. And that's one of the things about the spinner, is that I can kind of like control the speed. I really feel like the rooster tail is the way to go. Let's get you off of here. These little baits here, if you leave these on, they'll harden up and you have to pretty much crush them off. Okay, let's get this little guy cut off. So I'm throwing this a couple times and my spinner has not been turning. The one cast you make could be the cast that's going to catch a fish. I don't want to be wasting cast where I've got a spinner that's not turning. Who's this guy? We got a state trooper up there. Here we got a state trooper up here. Kind of looking around. Let's see here. Kind of strange. Yeah, got a state trooper coming through, and they weren't looking my way at all. They were looking up. So Route 80 is right there. I feel like I should be like curious to like, hey, do I need to know something? Do I need to know something? I mean, I don't want to get killed out here. Like, are they looking for somebody? That's unusual. I've never seen a state trooper go through here. I've seen park police come through here once in a while. The state rangers come through here once in a while. But she came through here and she was looking up at Route 80 like she was looking for something. So that was kind of interesting. Don't see that too often. That's Jersey's finest. State troopers. Okay, so I've got this little log here and I know it's here. And I just got hung up on it. And this was the rooster tail that I was telling you. I was having some, I noticed it didn't seem like it was spinning that well. So actually, if I'm gonna lose one, this probably would be the one I wouldn't care about losing too much. So I made my way around here a couple times. And I think we're down to breaking off our line. So let's do that. No one likes breaking lines. To kind of clean up my spool. You know, I think my spool's a little bit messy from when I let it go out with the bobber. Now we just had a little hit here, but no luck. We didn't get him, so it is what it is. All right, we're putting this away. It's getting a little bit later now, so I don't know if we're really going to be able to catch any more fish. The one rainbow trout, and I think I had another legitimate hit. Sometimes you feel like when you go to set the hook, you just pull right out of their mouth, and that's kind of what it felt like. Okay, well, we're wrapping it up, and of course my first thought is I want to be disappointed, but the fact of the matter is we caught a rainbow trout today. Probably had another rainbow trout on. We didn't catch him with that. Was with the rooster tail, the brown and the light colored belly. Well, I guess it depends on which way it's flipped. I'm gonna call that a catch. You could disagree with me. You know, I tried to pull it out of the water. I probably should have done that. I probably should have reached in. I don't have a net with me, so that was probably the reason I lost him. I tried to boat flip him, and that was a bad thing. Tried an array of different things today. Tried a larger style spinner. Tried the jerkbait. The jerkbait was fun. Jerkbaits are always so fun to work. So we're gonna call it a day here. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. If nothing else, we got outside. And it's starting to cloud over. We're starting to get a little bit of rain. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Really appreciate you watching. Hope we see you on the next one. Thanks for watching my last video too about all the Eclipse stuff. We're happy to have all the new subscribers that came along with our Fishing the Eclipse series. So that was a lot of fun. It was always fun to fish with Dad. A little disappointing. I was really surprised that the fish didn't get a little more active with the Eclipse, but it actually worked in reverse. The fishing was absolutely awful. I saw a lot of boats on the lake that day, and I spoke to a few of the anglers, and no one was having any luck on Lake Apacon. Sometimes these videos will produce a ton of fish, and sometimes they just don't. So again, please like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks guys for watching.